Hello everyone, I am Deepthi Maripalli and welcome to yet another episode of the Daily Cashier. So today, for the first time, we have a guest at our show. He is a small business entrepreneur who is creating magic in the world of accessories and aesthetics. So join with us as we delve into Vedika's artistry world. So welcome Vedika Bagdi.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So yeah, how are you feeling?
I am feeling great and thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, so let's dive into your small business. And it's really been intriguing after I started looking on your Instagram reels and all. So tell me what Creo means.
So, Creo basically means to create in Portuguese. So, when I initially was thinking of a name for my business, I wanted something that sounds a little like English but also had like some meaning. So, I was just looking up random words relating to what my business idea or goal was, and then I just kept matching things. And then I found Creo, which meant to create. And back then, I was mainly creating all my products, like everything was handmade. So yeah, Criio means to create in Portuguese, and I wanted something short and cute like the business name. So yeah, that's how I came up with Criio.
Oh, that's so cute. And the logo, you came up with the logo.
Yeah, so initially I had another logo, but then after like a year or so, I thought, and that logo was designed by somebody else. So I thought if I have something that I design on my own, that would be more of me. So the recent logo that I've been using since like a year or two, so that I designed on my own. Yeah. And the color and everything is just very me, so I thought that would be more, I don't know, yeah.
So tell me about the journey of Creo. Like, what made you start Creo, and why did you, like, what intrigued you? What was the point that intrigued you in starting it?
So basically, back in the lockdown, all of us literally had nothing to do, and it was just very boring, and I don't really like being free. And I had online college back then, so I had a lot of time. So right before I started Creo in August, like there was like this whole Raksha Bandhan season. So basically, I had ordered some type of clay, and I got some other clay instead. I had not done proper research, so I thought why let that clay go to waste. I made a few flowers out of it, and somehow ended up making rakhis. I was like, I'll just post them on my Instagram, my personal account. I posted and I sold more than 100 rakhis. So
wow.
I was like, okay, maybe there is something and I'm really enjoying this. So I never really thought about entrepreneurship until then. And then slowly I thought maybe, like my sister really pushed me and she's like, why don't you try starting a business? And I was like, I don't think I can run a business and all of that. But eventually I thought maybe I should start a business. So on 22nd August 2020, I decided, okay, finally I'll just start a business. And I started, and I used to sell polymer clay jewelry back then. So slowly it just diversified, and from there I started resin jewelry, and then just started selling trendy jewelry and all of that. So basically started out of passion and out of boredom, and it's been 3 years since I started it.
And 100 orders at the first thing, that's huge. That's really huge.
Yeah, so that's what actually pushed me, and I was like, okay, I was a little confident, like, okay, maybe I can do something.
Did that pressurize you in making like, I need to make the other ones good too?
So honestly, I started it out of hobby. Like I was just enjoying what I was doing. So I didn't really feel any pressure, and most of my things were handmade. So far all the customers that I've had have been very appreciative, and they understand handmade products are unique. So they can't expect the exact same copy of it. So that way it's just been great. Like very understanding people.
So when was it when you realized, okay, this can be a business?
So honestly, the initial 1 or 2 years, I was just doing out of fun. Till date, I do it only because it's like a stress buster for me, and I really enjoy doing what I do. So I'm not sure if I'm still like, I don't know, I'm just going with the flow, and yeah.
So like, you were in college, like with college and now working, did that affect your small business?
Yeah, it definitely affected it. So initially when I started 1 year, I had offline college, online college. So I just had all the time in the world because online college. And then slowly we had offline college. So that was a little difficult managing college. And then I had to do an internship back then. It was mandatory. So college and then internship and then Creo. So it was just very hectic. But at the end of the day, it's something I like doing. So I could still manage. But now that I've started my full-time job, like I'm working 8 to 10 hours a day, so it's become very difficult for me to manage Creo. Like in terms of orders, I'm still able to fulfill them, but in terms of posting content online, like I do not get time to record. So I make most of the orders in the night after I'm done with all my office work, so it's like a stress buster. But I can't really make a lot of content in the night, so like it's better if there's sunlight and all of that. So I've become very inactive on my social media, but apart from that, it's challenging, but it's also fun.
And also I have seen you come up with many creative stuff. Like there is a whole lot of variety, like from the first post itself. Like there was a resin clock, which really I loved it so much. And then there were magnetic bracelets and then evil eye bracelets. You know, how do you come up with daisy stuff? And how do you come up with this creative stuff? Like all your designs are unique and so creative.
So it just comes out very naturally. Like I just keep going through Pinterest and Google and all of those things just to get inspiration, and I try to follow the trends because like a lot of customers, like following trends would help me get a lot of customers for a particular thing. So when bracelets were a trend, so I tried coming up with different varieties of bracelets and so on. So and in case like I just get any idea, I just note it down so that whenever I sit and make things, I can try making that. And it just very randomly just comes to me.
So what was the hardest part in, like till now, what was the hardest part?
So I think this current phase of mine has been the most difficult, where I'm trying to manage a full-time corporate job and my side hustle, like my small business, because so I'm very new to the corporate world as well. So it's taking time for me to adjust to it, and I need to also think about like Creo. So I think this part has been like the most challenging part so far. But I'm pretty grateful for my parents because they really helped me. So when I get a few orders like bracelets and all of these, they help me make the orders. So even if I'm at office, I just tell them that this is the order I got, and by the time I'm back home, they just make everything and it's ready, and I just need to dispatch it. So they've been very supportive in that way.
Wow. So my actual question, I actually wanted to ask you about, you know, the initial phase when you start a business, that is said to be the difficult phase because people don't know about you.
Yeah.
People, it's hard to market or, let them know that this is the brand I have and these are the things I make. Come and buy.
Yeah.
What was it for you? Like, did you face difficulties? Because you said you had 100 customers in the first order.
So basically, yeah, I did have a great difficult time initially because as you mentioned, like a lot of people don't know about your brand and your products. So what I tried doing was every time I got an order and when the customer gave me a review, I would ask them if they're okay with mentioning my business on their story, and if they were okay, they would mention it. Okay. So that way I got more reach. And every time they messaged me something or shared a picture as a review, I would share a screenshot of that on my stories. So people would see that my products are genuine and a lot of people are liking it. So I started maintaining these highlights called reviews. So anytime, because I did not have a website back then, so it was a very, like, not a lot of people would trust an Instagram based business. So through that, like through the reviews thing, I got a lot of help. Like it was great. Like a lot of people started trusting my business. And I also tried sending like a few packages to like these influencers. So I was not fortunate enough to collaborate with a lot of influencers, but I've done it with like 3 or 4 of them.
Wow.
And so that was very good. And apart from that, so during my initial days only, like within the first year, so there's this YouTuber influencer called Ashna Hegde. So she had reached out to me and she wanted to buy a few of my products.
Oh.
So that was a very big thing for me because usually small businesses reach out to influencers. So she had reached out to me.
Wow.
So and now I think she has more than 1 million followers. So I was like, that's a very big deal. So I sent her an order, and after that I sent her like 2 other packages just because she supports small businesses. So after her thing, she had posted my thing on her story. So that got me a lot of orders and a lot of marketing. So those were like a few things how through the initial days, initial years, I could get a lot of orders.
Wow. And now you're 1,000 plus followers.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Okay. So initially you were mentioning about the goal of your thing, like Creo. Like, what is the vision of Creo? What is the whole thing behind Creo?
So through Creo, I just want to deliver like good quality products at like affordable rates. That's like the only thing at the back of my head. Like, it's okay if I do not, like, I don't know, I just need my customers to be happy with the quality. So that's like my target, like the main focus. And it's very easy for me to just outsource a lot of things and just resell them. But I like to make things on my own, like even the bracelets. Like, there are so many businesses selling ready-made bracelets. So I feel if I make the bracelets on my own, I'll have more trust in my product and it'll make me sell them in a better, like people would like them more because the quality might be better. So I just want to deliver like good quality products at affordable rates, and I want to try to continue making at least some part of Creo should be handmade. So I try either handmade or handcrafted jewelry.
Okay.
So apart from that, I also resell a lot of things, but those are just to stay in the trend. But the main essence comes from the handmade products.
Resell in the sense like
just sell like golden hoops and all of those, the metal jewelry. I can't really make them on my own. So I just resell them because there are a few customers that would want such jewelry. So I have like both the classifications, handmade as well, the other part.
Wow, that's cool. And the resin thing. So my actual question, the other question was, do you really find it difficult or anything like to find the beads and all? So how do you get those?
So it takes a lot of time to just surf the internet and come across a lot of wholesalers, retailers, and you have to talk to so many of them, get quotations and all of that. So that is very challenging. But coming to resin that you were mentioning earlier, so basically when I started off with resin, I did everything on my own. Like, I haven't taken any classes. I just learned how to do resin art on my own through YouTube. So there were a lot of difficulties that I faced, but I just became better at making resin products. So I somehow mastered the art of resin without any classes. So that was a very fun, challenging phase of my business. Apart from that, sourcing raw materials and all of that has always been challenging. But now I have like a few people that I get my supplies from all across India. So that has been great, but every day I'm just trying to come up with more alternatives to my raw materials.
What is the trending thing that is right now, and what are you planning on to make?
So currently, if you know, like there are a lot of these bow accessories that are trending that people make out of ribbons. So I thought it's time for me also to get in the trend. So I'm just trying to make all these bow earrings, and there are also like these chunky heart necklaces that are in trend. So I recently posted about those as well. So these are the two things that I think are very trendy right now. And
And also, you mentioned it before, but then I also wanted to ask you about this. There was one reel about your parents too. So tell me about your role of parents supporting you, because they also have their things to do, but they support you. Like, tell me about their role.
So basically, I've always been this person that I like doing everything on my own, like from the first thing to delivering orders. But of course, it's become very challenging after my job has started. So my parents have been very, very supportive. Like, as I was mentioning, like if I get a few orders, so obviously they can't make everything. If not, like what would the point of me being there be? So like all the resin and all the customized orders, I still make them. But if there's something like making bracelets and all of that, like I've sold a lot of bracelets in the recent times, so they just help me make the bracelets. And like when I get like bulk orders and all of that, my parents are just there, and if they are not able to make the product, they at least like try to help me with packaging it, or like my dad helps me send it to the local courier, he does that for me, and my mom would help me with packaging the order. So some way or the other, they're just always involved, and they just want to help me out so that it makes my work and my life easier. So they've been very supportive and I'm so grateful for that.
I know. And like, it's so cute looking at them doing the stuff, the bracelets. And like, you say that you're introvert and, you kind of feel awkward. So you have social awkwardness.
Yeah.
Then was that a barrier for putting your stalls out there? You need to convey your market, your Creo to the customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was it difficult? Did that become a barrier in it?
Yeah, so that was a very challenging part. So initially, as I mentioned, I started my business in 2020. So I was like 18 years old back then. So like from just being in my bubble to starting a business, like I'd come a long way. And so putting stalls. So the first time I put a stall, it was in my college, and I was just so awkward because you have your customers right in front of you. Like all this while I've just been dealing with them virtually. So it is very challenging, but now that I've just put up so many stalls, I've just gotten past that awkward stage, and now putting stalls is like the most exciting part of my business. Like I just love putting stalls and talking to my customers face to face. So like there's a complete contrast, like shift in my personality.
Transformation from what Vedika was in 2020 to now.
Yes. So like all thanks to my business for that. Like I've just gained so much confidence and now I love talking to customers. So yeah, it was challenging back then, but now it's just one of the best things.
So like the bulk orders you were talking about. So is it hard to make it bulk orders because you have to sit and make the same thing again and again and again? So is it difficult?
So making the same thing again is not a problem again because I just love what I do. Like I love making products, but it's very time consuming. So for most big brands, bulk orders might be a very good thing. For a small business owner, it's of course equally exciting, but it's also very time consuming and so much effort needs to go in. And usually when people place bulk orders, they want higher discounts, but they're not understanding that we put in so much more efforts to make the bulk order. So it is challenging, but it's of course really fun making bulk orders.
So like, was there a point where you felt, why am I doing this? What is it getting me? Why am I even doing this?
So far, touch wood, I haven't felt that. Like every day I do something related to Creo, and if there's nothing to do, I just feel like maybe I should just do something. Like I can't be free. So far I haven't felt like what am I doing, why am I doing, because I'm just doing it out of passion and this is something I truly enjoy, so it's been great.
So like is Vedika Creo, or like which one came first? Like you did your personal branding and then you introduced people Creo, or did Creo go it by itself?
Creo just went by itself. I did nothing personally for myself and then for Creo. Like I just started Creo because, as I mentioned, like I was a complete introvert back then, so I did not even think of branding myself. So it was just Creo, and then through that I just post myself a little bit. So yeah, I'm still like a little shy to post myself on reels, and I don't know voiceovers and all of that. But I try to just every once in a while post something where it involves my pictures, so that at least my audience knows that this is the person behind Creo. So yeah, Creo first.
So yeah, last question. So what are you planning to do in future? Like, do you have any plans on making this small business a big one, or collaborating with anyone or investors or anything?
So far I haven't thought of something that big like collaborating with investors and all of that. I just hope I get more bulk orders and I'm able to scale up my business a little more. And so I'm not sure till when will I be able to manage it, considering my corporate job is also so tedious and very hectic. But I just hope I continue doing it because again it's something I truly enjoy. So I just don't really have a long-term goal as such, but I just wish to continue it and try to be more active on my socials so that I can market myself more, and through that I'll get more customers.
Is there a chance that Creo will become your full-time thing?
Not anytime soon. I feel a corporate job would teach me the discipline I need. So I think at least for a few years I would love to stay in the corporate and learn a lot of other things. But yeah, Creo I think would still just be there as my small little side hustle.
Wow, it's cute. So yeah, thank you so much Vedika for being my first guest to this podcast. I really enjoyed talking with you.
It was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.